welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Endler Livebears and what you need to do to take care of them. Alright, let's get it. These males are typically going to get up to an inch long, while the females are going to be a tad bit bigger. Let me try to find that female. There we go. So you can see she has a lot less color than the male, but she is a lot bigger. Let me get it to focus. There we go. It's usually just because she's just so full of the fry and all that, and typically most, even with guppies, the females don't really they don't normally show a lot of color. A frequently asked question is that, are Endlers and guppies the same or even closely related? And they are very closely related. They're like distant cousins. They can be bred together, but to be honest, it's not really the greatest. You can get a lot of wild colors and nothing really too stable, to be honest, pattern-wise. So these are in my opinion, a very beginner-friendly fish. They're super easy to take care of. Like with this tank right here, let me get this thing to focus. It is a 10-gallon. It's going to be a planted. It's originally going to be for shrimp, but my girlfriend wanted something in the tank, so I ended up getting some Endlers. These guys are not going to be eating the shrimp. I am feeding them like a small bit every day, to be honest, just because there are fry in there and I do want to feed them. But I have this carpeting plant. They're going to be called ripens. I want the ripens to pretty much take over the tank, and with this Amazon sword, it is going into a different tank soon. I just wanted to grow it up, and I got it for a really good price. And then with the moss, the moss is going to be such a big help in the shrimp tank. But honestly, the moss is just chilling right there. And with all the plants and all of that, it does help create a really healthy tank. You can use a sponge filter like this, or even a hang on the back filter to cycle these. These are really easy. Like individually, each fish has a small bioload, so they're not going to impact it a lot. But once these guys start breeding and start popping out fry, because they could pop out anywhere between 5, 10, 15, 20 fry, and depending on how covered your tank is, like with hiding spaces, these fry can pretty much take over the tank, and that small bioload times 20, and then in a month times another 20, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. So even though you don't have to worry about them too much, you do have to do your water changes and make sure that the tank is healthy. You can't just like leave it. So pretty much for these fish, because they're so small, this is about max size. They can go into 5 gallons, in my opinion. Like if you can't put a female and a male, they cannot be breeding, in my opinion. I would put like a couple males in there just to liven it up with some cherry shrimp. But they can go in anywhere between like a 10-gallon. This is a 10-gallon to what, 20, 30, pretty much whatever size. They do have a certain, because they are smaller, you can't put them with all different types of fish, especially if you do want to be breeding them. Pretty much anything bigger would eat them. So I got these fish from a local breeder, and he ended up giving me 2 males and 1 female. I don't really appreciate that too much, because this female is just going to get bullied by these 2 males, and I am trying to decide which male I do want to keep. So one of them has the tail fin that I really like, the shape, while the other one has the colors that I really like. So I gotta decide which one I want to keep, and pretty much keep on breeding that line and strengthening it. And I am going to be culling kind of hardcore, because I do want really nice Endlers. See, like this one right here, has the two oranges. The top fin doesn't have a full orange line, so I gotta cull and make sure that gets a full orange line. Well, this one right here in the center of the screen has a really nice tail shape, but has no orange in the tail fin, which I don't like, so I gotta choose. These fish are not picky eaters at all. I'm feeding them a mix of fish flake with like ground up krill and shrimp. I like creating my own little fish food for them. But they are not picky. You can feed them live food such as like baby brine shrimp. They'll eat frozen, they'll eat flake. They're not picky at all. If you are planning on breeding these fish, what I would suggest is having 2 females to 1 male, and so that 1 male can bounce between 2 females, and the other female can get a break. Because right now this female is not getting a break. She is constantly getting harassed, so I gotta take out the other Endler who's like blind. I'm not gonna use, and I have a tub pond that I'm gonna be putting him into. So I'm not gonna euthanize any. They're just gonna go in a tub pond outside. Another problem with these fish is that the female, just because it is bigger, they tend to pick on the fry a little bit more, meaning sometimes they have no mother instincts. These fish typically have no mother instincts, and they're gonna go after the fry if they're hungry. So you have to make sure you feed them the tank enough and make sure that the tank has lots of cover, meaning like plants, like I don't want to say substrate, hardscape, that's the word. So making sure that there's lots of things, and floater plants. I ordered my dwarf water lettuce, and it's coming in a couple days. So the top is going to be covered, and the roots are going to provide a lot of cover for the babies, and that's going to be amazing for them. And the population is going to shoot up, and I can cull, and I can start to produce a really high quality Endler line. Look at that tail on that guy. Stay still, man, stay still. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. If you have any tips down below for any other Aquarius, and especially myself, I always love to learn different things and see what you guys are doing in your tank. Comment down below. Other than that, stay tuned for the next video.